everyone! Today I wanted to show you how I make my chocolate chip cookies so that they're perfect and beautiful and amazing. The recipe will be in my cookbook, but you can use any recipe you want. But all these tips and tricks are going to help you get awesome cookies. So first up, let me get my ingredients out and I'll get them mixing right here. So I've mixed up my butter for just a second to loosen it up, and I've added my sugars. I use brown and white sugar. So we'll get this mixed and we're going to go ahead and cream it together, and that just means getting it nice and light and fluffy. This is the only part of making cookies where you're going to want to mix it on high. So I let it mix for a minute, and it was probably about more like 30 seconds, and then I scraped down the sides and mixed it again so everything is cohesive and blended together, as you can see. And now we're ready for the eggs. So chocolate chip cookies, to be amazing, they are not a mix and walk away sort of thing. So I've just got my sugars and butter creamed. Now I've got my eggs in. I'm going to mix it until just mixed, like just mix. You want to watch it. It's going to be about 30 seconds on low, and if it still doesn't combine, you can scrape the sides and let it mix for a few more seconds. But don't forget about it. Don't walk away. Don't turn it on high and whip it. You do not want to whip your eggs, okay? That was really only about 20 seconds. I counted on my phone here, and it is all combined. So next we're going to dump in our dry ingredients. When you're measuring your dry ingredients to add into your wet mixture, you want to make sure they are level. And I went ahead and brought this right here. Look, level. Not kind of like guess scooping, not over, not under. The reason is if you do too much flour, that they'll come out more like cakey than cookie. And that's not what we want, especially with an amazing recipe like this. And so just make sure when you're measuring everything, your sugars, your flours, your baking powder, salts, whatever, everything is totally level. So I've already got the rest of my dry ingredients in there now: flour, baking soda, and salt. And again, this recipe will be in my cookbook. If you would like to use your own recipe, that totally works as well. Nestle Toll House is close, but not quite the same as what I use. But I just wanted to let you guys know that's an option too. So here we go. And we want this just slightly undermixed, because once we add in the chocolate chips, that's really going to bring it to that perfect mixed level. And it comes together pretty darn quickly. And I'm going to stop it in about 5 seconds. You can hear, there we go, see it slowing down a little. All right, I'm going to stop it, scrape down the sides, and add my chocolate chips. You can see it's just slightly, it's perfectly mixed right there. I'm going to scrape down my sides, if you can see that. There we go. And get those chocolate chips in. I've got my big helper here. She put in an entire 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Hi.
Okay, thanks. And I prefer semi-sweet just because sometimes milk chocolate can get overly sweet, but that's just me. It comes down to personal preference. I've got my KitchenAid locked here, and if you don't have a mixer, that's fine. You can totally do all of this by hand. And we're going to get it to just mixed. Ooh, guys. Voila. Look at that beautiful cookie dough. So right here, kind of you come to a crossroads. You're going to have to decide what you want to do with this cookie dough. While I cannot, in good conscience, tell you to eat raw cookie dough, some people do that. I'm going to be making regular cookies, and I'll show you the two sizes that I use for my cookie scoops. I do use a scoop because you get nice, even cookies each time when you do that. Or if you want to make a cookie cake, that's also an option. I did that the other day. They take a little bit longer to bake, but they're so good. I did it I did half a recipe into an 8-inch round pan, and so it was about 1 inch thick across the whole thing, and it took about 35 minutes. These I'm just going to do, I'll do a small set and a large set so you can see the difference. And they take between 7 to 10 minutes that way. Sometimes I refrigerate the cookie dough, but right now I'm not going to because I don't have time. You don't have to, it just changes the exterior a little bit. It makes it a little more crunchy on the outside and gooey on the inside. So I have my oven already preheated to 375 and I'm going to get these scooped out and show you the difference in sizes. Alright, so I have my cookie sheet out, my oven is on, and I wanted to show you the different sizes I used. This is a bigger size, and it was about 3 tablespoons. This one's smaller, this was about 1.5, so I know this is half the size of that. And I do a nice flat scoop again, so just when I am over here scooping, I'll just bring it up against the edge to flatten it out. Because that does make a big difference in the amount of cookies you can make. And what I do, so once it's in the lump, like that, I will actually take it and flatten it so that it cooks evenly. You can see I flattened that one as well, and that's kind of how high it is. I just smush it down just a little so that it's baking even. I'll go ahead and leave one set like this so you can see the difference between a non-squished and a squished cookie as it bakes. And then I will show you these beauties once they're out of the oven. So here they are just out of the oven, and this is how you know when they're done. See how they're just golden brown right on the edge? Because they're going to sit on this mat for just a minute, and they're going to keep cooking. And you don't want them to be overcooked and then turn like crispy, right? So you can see, and they've started to lose their shine, which is also a good sign. Let me back up a little. That big lump right there was the big one that we didn't press down, so you can see it is quite a bit taller than the rest.
I can see it.
Yeah, and you can spot the other guy right here. He's still taller than the rest too, but these turn out really nice. And the smaller one, still too warm. You can see it's about just the size of my fingers right here. So it's a really good size to give away or for friends. And these big ones are awesome for other things, like just really feeling it, you know? So I will show another version of the refrigerated dough so you can see the difference between what happens when you do or don't refrigerate your dough. And my big cookie right here, this guy didn't get cooked all the way. You can see how shiny it is? That's a sign that it's not done. But see how this one isn't shiny on top? It's matte. That means it's done. Golden brown edges, matte on top. We have golden brown edges, but it's still shiny on top, so it's not cooked. I'm going to get the rest of these off and stick that guy back in the oven. So let's take a look at refrigerated cookie dough as well. So I want to show you the difference between a refrigerated cookie dough cookie and a room temperature cookie dough cookie. So I put this cookie dough in the refrigerator last night, and if you can see here, I'll bring one of the comparisons. This one was the room temperature one. It did spread to be a little bit bigger. Just barely. I mean, it's not huge, but it's a little bigger than some of these on here. The refrigerated ones like this, they held their shape. They're a little taller. They don't spread out as much. And you get a darker golden brown. You get a darker golden brown crust because it takes longer for the inside to get cooked. So you end up with a cookie that's a little more crispy on the outside and then like warm and gooey still on the inside. Whereas the ones that were the room temperature that were made yesterday, you don't have to cook them as long. The edges don't get as golden brown and it spreads more, and it is a soft cookie throughout the entire thing. It doesn't really have that crunchy edge. So if you like the crispy edge and the soft center, then you'll want to refrigerate your cookie dough. It doesn't have to be overnight, but like a good hour or so. And then you can scoop it out and you can put it on your tray. Everyone, that's all I have for you, all the tips. If you have any questions about the techniques or the recipe, go ahead and comment below. I'm happy to share with you or answer any questions that you might have. As soon as I have a link to my cookbook, I will put that down in the description of the video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Like it if you like it. Subscribe to our channel, share the video, do the notifications, whatever. You hear my kids? Whatever feels right to you, right? Oh my goodness. Truth moment, because this is family in real life. This is my real life. I'm outside filming this because my kids are having a day in there. But look at the lighting. Ooh. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.